On Go Video, just in time flipping. It's like we never made a video before, and we're going to struggle through this one. One take only. Here we go. Tell you the story. Here's the story. Thompson Motor Speedway. We went, we came, we saw, we got our tables jacked. Stuff like that happens, so we move on. So I'll tell you the story and some pitfalls and some other things to get through this trade show, I guess. So it kind of starts on a Friday. Some people line up on a Thursday. So if you're really avid and you really want to do this trade show, I can give you all the ins and outs of this trade show if you want to get your tables jacked at the end. But I can tell you a way not to get your tables jacked at the end. Anyway, so yeah, we set up. We did okay. We did all the numbers that I expected to do each day, except for the last day. I didn't really expect anything on the last day. I just kind of, let's just see what happens, kind of. I know a lot of people went to a different flea market for Sunday because that trade show is not as busy on a Sunday. It's kind of picked over. And then you get a lot of lowball tire kickers at the end trying to get stuff for cheap. Now, what this trade show is all about is what you bring. Basically, you could just bring everything, and you don't have to take any of it home. You could technically just leave it there and drive away. And seemingly that's what's attractive to this kind of swap meet or whatever. I don't know if it's frowned upon leaving your stuff behind like that, but it's seemed that a lot of people left a lot of stuff. I didn't give you any video of it. I could have, but there was stuff everywhere, left everywhere. Trash, good stuff, bad stuff, metal, scrap, trinkets. You could probably fill a van with stuff at the end. Easy. So with that being said, we did the trade show, got through. So basically, you're going to go back to the table story. I'll lead to the table story. So yeah, this trade show's an okay place. It looked like you could pick some things. I've seen some guys, they found some good things. I mean, some things worth some decent money. What they were paying for things, I don't really know. The market's really tanking on the used goods from my perspective. If it's of value, they'll buy it. But if it's really not of value, they don't really want to pay any mediocre price for it. They want it for cheap. Which is fine and understandable. For me, the hottest part is the dollar, the $1 to $2 variable. If you have an item that's worth $5 and you're asking $3 for it, and they kind of snicker at you, and they want it for $2. I'm a hot ass. I'll pack it. I'll throw it away. I'll donate it. No, I'm not doing that. Do I give in sometimes on that dollar increment? Yeah, sure. But that dollar kills me every time. You can haggle me for $5. It's $15 item. Will you take 10? Will you take 5? Well, it's a question. Give me 8. Let me get 8. Let's meet in the middle. You know, that's all fine and dandy. So a lot of that show is it's variable on me saying it's not the greatest crowd, and then by me talking shit about my customers would be bad. So it's not the worst crowd, but there's certain times with the crowd that sucks. So there's the 7 to 9 o'clock crowd. I mean, 0 sales from 7 to 9 o'clock, nothing. Maybe a couple things, which was probably things that I was giving away, or they were going to make money on me or something like that. But between 9 and 2, 9 and 3. You get some traffic sales, regular people, regular consumers, which is good. So after all that, got through the show. I did 2 runs, so I brought my van load of stuff, dumped it, was all in totes, went back to my house, which is 18 minutes from there, got my tables, and brought the tables back. I brought like 8 wooden tables and 5 folding tables, and some other chunks of like different metal and some bigger items or whatever. So the first load was all little not dollar trinkets, but small trinket shit. So got through the show, set it up, blah blah blah. I left this stuff overnight. No qualls, no one bothered any of it. Nothing stolen. Left it out 2 nights, tarped it over. No one touched it. Perfect. So I packed up the truck to leave. I had some help. Brick and Tim helped fucking load the truck and unload the truck when I got back to my house. So I bring the truck back to my house, unload the truck, and before I left, I put all the tables into a big pile, and leaned all the tables up to the wooden tables. I had a couple other little things. I had my antique sign that was technically a table. I left that there because it goes with the tables. A big, huge smokestack. I probably couldn't have fit it in the truck. I could have fit some more stuff in the truck. I just knew that I was coming back. And I didn't think anything was going to get stolen, to be honest with you. I mean, I left it all out at night, 2 nights in a row. And when I left, I tarped it off. So I left a big smokestack off an 18-wheeler, the antique sign, the tables, a huge target, a box of trinkets, and maybe some miscellaneous odds, like a shelf and some other things like that. Unloaded the truck. Took about an hour and a half. No big deal. Left. Came back to get the tables, and the folding tables were gone. Fucking jacked. They ripped the top off, took the tables, pulled back the wooden tables, took the antique sign from in between the tables, took the huge smokestack, took the targets, and the box of trinkets that was underneath the table. So basically stole everything. I mean, it was tarped off. But what can you do? I mean, I tarped it off. I mean, even a camera wouldn't have stopped this. You needed a body there, basically. You need to leave somebody behind. So your shit is not sacred. You got to leave somebody there. But because I didn't get my stuff jacked in the middle of the night, when I went home to go to sleep, I felt the tables were safe. I didn't think anyone was going to steal the tables. So I know what each table looks like. I've had them for 6-7 years in rotation. We've used them all the time. So I know what each imperfection, I know what the tables look like. I know what spray paint's been on there, or what rusty thing has been left off the table with the imprint of it. Sorry, I got an itchy nose. So, me and Brick went up there. Brick's my buddy. Me and Brick went up there to unload, to get the tables, put them in the van. So the stuff was jacked. I'm like, I'm pissed. But I knew that there's nothing I can do. It's unexpected. Like, you're dealing with a race crowd. These are all rough and fucking tough fucking guys that kind of don't give a fuck. Inhaled way too much diesel fumes and nitro fuel. They got nitro fuel on the brain, fucking inhaling fucking cob cleaners and shit. So this is the people that you're dealing with. Fuck, got the tables jacked. So Brick's like, let's drive around and look at people's trucks. I'm like, fuck me, this is confrontational. Fuck it, let's do it. So I'm driving around. We're looking for the tables. It's a huge racetrack, so you just drive around the racetrack. We're driving around the racetrack in the van, looking for the fucking tables. Nothing. I didn't overly investigate. I just kind of like glanced at each truck. There was only like 30, 40 people left. So getting towards the end of the gate where you leave. We're getting ready to leave. Like, fuck it, fuck the tables. And there's a van there, and he had the lights on. So I'm like, I'll stop. And there was like a trailer and a truck over here on the right. I'll stop, I'll look in the van. Had the lights on. Stop, look in the van, nothing. Go over around the van, my van, and look in the truck and the trailer. And when I moved the tables, I ripped one of the handles from dragging the table to put it in the pile. So one of the handles was broken. And I fucking see one of the tables in the trailer. I'm like, oh, fuck, let's go. Where is this kid? I go up to the driver's seat, fucking not in there. I would have grabbed him. I would have grabbed him or something. I don't know. I don't know what I would have did. You can't, sometimes you can't think it fully through. You just react. Like, where is this kid? He's wheeling a bike over from the fucking woods and he's basically scrapping shit. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? Fucking stole my tables up the road? Fucking, he's like, no, I didn't steal no tables. I'm like, fucking, I mean, if you fucking put tables in your truck, you would know what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, you didn't uncover my stuff over there and take the fucking tables and put them in your truck? Because these are my fucking tables. Oh, well, I did take the tables, but I didn't uncover it. I'm like, oh, so you smashed, so somebody smashed in the fucking convenience store and you just noticed the window was open, so you went in? Is that what you're telling me? He's like, oh, you can have the tables. I go, I am gonna have my tables. I'm taking my fucking tables. Oh, yeah, you can take the tables. I'm taking my fucking tables. I'm getting pissed. Because he's telling me that I can have my stuff back. I'm like, I'm taking my tables. And I'm taking your fucking tables, too. And he's like, oh, no, you're not taking my tables. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking all your fucking tables. He had like 12 tables in the truck. You're not taking my tables. I go, there's fucking two of us, and we're taking all your fucking tables right fucking now. So I started pulling my tables out, and he's trying to push my table back into his trailer. I go, bro, what are you fucking doing? I'm like, I'm taking my fucking tables. These two are mine. He goes, yeah, you can have your tables. I go, yeah, I am fucking taking my fucking tables. So I slide it to my buddy and say, put it in the truck. Because this kid's like confrontational with me in my face. He's trying to almost not let me take my fucking tables. I fucking have to shove him. Say, back the fuck up. I'm taking my tables. Put the two tables in the truck. I start grabbing his tables. He goes, oh, you're not taking my tables. I fucking push him back. I go, I'm looking at your fucking tables to see if they're my fucking tables. Back the fuck off. Fine, look at the fucking tables. I am. I pull him out of the truck. I go, I'm fucking taking these fucking tables, just so you know. You're not taking my fucking tables. About the same size as me. I fucking push him fucking back. I go, don't make me fucking punch you. Because you stole my fucking tables. Now I'm gonna fucking steal your fucking tables. Alright? See how what you did was fucked up? You don't just go around fucking taking people's shit. Because now people are gonna go around and just take your shit. I go, there's two of us. He goes, oh, that don't matter. I start laughing. I'm like, that don't fucking matter. I grabbed the fucking table and I got the handle in my hand. It's like a folding table. I go, I'm gonna hit you in the fucking face with this fucking table. Back the fuck off. I grabbed the fucking table to fucking hit him in the face, and I knew I didn't want to fucking hit him. I fucking throw it fucking 50 feet fucking down the fucking road. Here, go get your fucking table. Fine, have your fucking table. So he starts walking, grab his fucking table. I go into his fucking trailer, and I just start grabbing all of his fucking tables, throw them fucking everywhere, fucking cuss him out. There's about 10 people around, tell him he's a fucking thief. He tells me he's gonna call the cops. I say, you're fucking funny that you're gonna steal my shit and you're gonna call the cops. This is fucking real fucking comical. Pardon my French, but I mean, this is in the heat of a moment. I'm telling you the story, how it went, and how many swears that were coming out of my mouth. Because I'm just upset that someone would do this. This is like the low of the fucking low. This is someone driving by a fucking roofer that's roofing a house, stop and steal his fucking skill saw at the bottom of the ladder. That's this kind of shit right here. Just a complete fucking loser. And fucking trying to defend himself. If it was me and I did that and that happened and I got confronted by somebody in the same fucking situation, I probably would have gave him one of my fucking tables because that person got this shit jacked. I mean, this guy had 12 tables. I'd have been like, fine, fucking take one of my fucking tables. I shouldn't have been touching other people's shit. Yeah. Basically, you shouldn't have been touching my shit. Lesson learned. It's costing you a fucking table. So I drove away. I was a little okay with it. All right, I got 2 tables back, got the shit jacked, lesson learned. But really, I was really fucking upset with myself when I got home that I'd take one of his fucking tables just to show him a fucking true lesson. But anyway, so I know what all my shit looks like, and these guys think this shit don't hit the streets and stuff like that. And I know what my tables look like. So you know when I find you, I'm kicking your fucking shit over. You can keep the table. I'm just gonna fucking kick your shit over. Every fucking time I see that table set up, I'm kicking your fucking shit over. And then I'm gonna hold a sign and tell everybody that you're selling stolen goods on a stolen table. Because you're a fucking loser. So anyway, I pushed on from there. Fucking tables jacked, whatever. We'll buy some new tables. And then we'll move on. No big deal. But basically, a lot of people leave this shit behind. I don't want to be like someone assumed. Assuming is the number one fuck up. So someone just stole my shit. I mean, it was covered. Someone stole the shit. Plain and simple. They were told 5 fucking times not to touch it, too. That I was coming back and it was tarped off. A couple people already told them, so I don't know. Would have appreciated the phone call. Hey, everyone's touching your shit. I should have went back. Called my buddy. He's set up there for like 10 years. And he was like, oh, you got to go back. You're going to get your shit jacked. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm making the run now. I got to just go back and get the tables. And he's like, oh, your fucking tables are gone. He's like, those people are the low of the low. They're going to take your tables. So, lesson learned. Some situations at some places in trade shows, you have to leave a man behind, or you really only have to take one load. You have to fit it all back in the truck. It is what it is. Lesson learned. That's the Thompson Motor Speedway way. And yeah, so we moved on. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. And yeah, have a good day. Peace.